There's a stretch of asphalt in West Texas that most people have never even seen. It's called the River Road, or FM 170. It's very remote. It's definitely not a place you want to visit when you're low on gas. But it's arguably the most beautiful drive, not just in Texas, but possibly in all of America. I'm Grant Kauffman, and for the last several years I've been coming out to Big Bend to shoot a variety of different video projects. This past year, along with my business partner and Wild Yeti Films co-founder Renee Layson, we've been documenting the hidden corners and great stories of Big Bend for Season 1 of our expedition series, Tales of the Big Bend. We love bringing you the documentary series, our whole team does, but we wanted to give you more. So we started something new. This is Beyond the Trail. It's a supplemental guide to help you navigate the Chihuahuan Desert like a pro. So today we're starting a series highlighting several of our favorite locations in the Big Bend region. Today we're breaking down the River Road Three-Fer, 3 separate stops that define the soul of Big Bend Ranch State Park, which we think is the hidden gem of the Big Bend region. What exactly are the Hoodoos? Well, they're a rock formation, and they sort of look like mushrooms, but they're actually a lesson in deep time. These formations were actually created roughly 30 million years ago, during the volcanic eruptions of the Chisos Mountains. Massive layers of volcanic ash settled here, and over millions of years, the harder caprock protected the softer ash underneath, creating these pedestal rocks, or hoodoos. Native Americans and early frontiersmen, they used these formations for shade. And if you've ever been out in the Chihuahuan Desert, you know that shade is at a premium. So they used these for shade, and they also used them as navigational points along the river. Now this is all before there was pavement or roads. So when you walk along and you walk among the hoodoos, you're actually walking through a graveyard of ancient volcanic debris. The loop trail there at the hoodoos is only 1.1 miles, but it's really one of the many underrated, underappreciated hikes. When you leave that parking lot, go all the way down to the riverbank. It's a short trail, but it's a beautiful walk, and you'll get down to the riverbank and you'll see the slick rock where the Rio Grande has carved out the deep grooves into the basalt. But remember, please don't climb on the hoodoos themselves, because that soft ash base is extremely fragile, and they can actually crumble under the weight of your body. Stop 2, this is the most famous pull-off on River Road, but most people don't know its real name. To locals and to film buffs, this is Dom Rock. It's the precipice where Kevin Costner and his crew dug up their friend Dom in the 1985 cult classic Fandango. Now you can actually walk up to Dom Rock, but what you have to do, you have to leave your car because it's not right on the road. You got to walk kind of through a little path, and there's a small trail. But be really careful because there's a lot of thorns and things that will stick you along there. So if you're wearing shorts, be careful. But you can absolutely walk right up to Dom Rock, and you can sit there and soak in the atmosphere. And it's just such a beautiful, peaceful, quiet place to sit and contemplate things. But as iconic as the movie is, the geology beneath your feet is even more dynamic. The canyon that you're looking into now is the Colorado Canyon. And while the famous canyons in the national park are carved through ancient white limestone, Colorado Canyon is a different beast entirely. It's the only volcanic canyon in Big Bend. These dark, jagged walls, they're not sedimentary. They're the remains of incandescent clouds of atomized magma and ash that erupted from the nearby mountain range, millions of years ago. The Rio Grande, it just didn't erode a path through this canyon. It actually sawed right through solid volcanic rhyolite and basalt. Look at the color. I mean, this is beautiful color. Colorado means red in Spanish. It's named for the deep hues of these volcanic rocks. I mean, just look at that color. Because this soil is mineral rich, and unlike the sterile limestone, the walls here are like a hanging garden of cacti and yuccas that you won't see anywhere else in the park. Now also, when you stop, don't just stop for like a photo. Look to the west with your binoculars, and you can actually see the river disappearing into the mouth of the canyon. The volcanic history of Colorado Canyon is incredible, and you can actually contact some of the great outfitters out there like Big Bend Boating and Hiking Company or Far Flung and ask them about a float trip through Colorado Canyon. So take a moment, really soak in the atmosphere. It's such a beautiful spot. Now, you may actually have seen some of our cinematic shots of this canyon in our series Expedition Tales of the Big Bend. I've linked the playlist right here. It's definitely worth the watch before you come out to Big Bend. If you were driving down FM 170 and there was no signage, you may have actually passed this spot 1,000 times and never known it was here. And this is Closed Canyon. It's one of the few true slot canyons in Texas. It's a literal tectonic fracture that the Rio Grande tributaries have been sawing through for millennia. Geologically, this is a shift. While Dom Rock was volcanic, we are now back in the Colorado Canyon limestone. This canyon was formed by vertical erosion. So every time a monsoon hits the plateau above, water is funneled into this narrow crack. The water carries silt and sand, and it acts almost like sandpaper, and it polishes some of these rocks into a finish that really kind of feels like marble when you're on it. Now, the history here is one of, silence and shadows. Because the entrance is so well hidden, it was a legendary refuge for livestock and outlaws escaping the heat. When you step inside the canyon, the temperature drops, 15, 20 degrees almost instantly. You can feel it right away. The acoustics change right away too. There's a hush of the canyon, and it's a stark contrast to the wind up on the main river road. You'll notice deep pockets in the floor of the canyon, and these are tinajas, Spanish for jars. Even in a drought, these can hold stagnant water for weeks, if not months. So do bring your waterproof hiking boots if you intend to go deep into the canyon, because you might have to wade through some of these as you progress through it. Now, about a half mile in, the floor drops a couple times, and these are pour-offs. They're like natural stairs carved by waterfalls. And they are deceptively easy to slide down because the rock is polished into a very, again, marble, glass-like finish. But they're really hard, in some cases, to climb back up. So don't push past the third major drop unless you have a group with you, and a partner or somebody who can help you, or have some gear to help you get out of there, because it's a little tougher to get out than you think. Now, there is some danger of Closed Canyon. You never want to enter this canyon if there's rain anywhere in the area. In a slot canyon, there's nowhere to climb. So a flash flood here is not a stream, it's more of a wall of debris. And so we always check the radar for the entire county before we bring our cameras in here. In fact, we check the weather forecast all the time at Big Bend. It's just a regular thing we do no matter where we go. So the river road is more than just a scenic drive. It's like a rite of passage. If you've hit the Hoodoos and Dom Rock and Closed Canyon, you've seen the soul of Big Bend Ranch State Park. And this road eventually will end up at Studi Butte, which is a great place to fuel up and hydrate, because that is the gateway to our next adventure. In our next episode of Beyond the Trail, we're looking across the water at the village of Boquillas, Mexico. And we'll break down the high-stakes history of the J.O. Langford Hot Springs and why the trails on this side of the border are some of the most beautiful but deadliest in the park. And we'll give you an expert checklist for the border crossing, so you're prepared for everything before you even step into that rowboat. Guys, remember to subscribe to Wild Yeti TV, and if you want to see the cinematic documentary side of these canyons in this amazing region called Big Bend, check out our show Expedition Tales of the Big Bend. It's right here on the same channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon beyond the trail.